Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today it's gonna be a reading vlog, my first one. I'm really excited, but before we get into the reading vlog, I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, I think I saw one comment say, how do I annotate my books? I don't know if I saw more than one, but this is for you. Okay, and I'm still like, I'm a beginning annotator. I just started annotating this past like 6 months when I started reading Throne of Glass. A lot of theories when it comes to Sarah and her books, and like what, like it's just like it's just one of those where you just need to annotate and you need to like look at the little details and everything. So I'm going to shadows right here because that's what I'm going to be. This is one of the books I'm going to be reading in my vlog, because sometimes I read more than one book at a time. You know, sometimes I'm reading a physical copy of something that maybe takes me a little longer, like this will take me like a day, and then sometimes I'm reading on my Kindle something that's easy. You know what I'm saying? I've made my key, but I haven't. Okay, anyways, but I will show you my finished version of my Heir of Fire copy. I will have all the stuff I use in my Amazon storefront because everything is off Amazon. So before people start attacking me, it's just down there. Just go look it down there. Okay, so let's look at my Heir of Fire copy. So first, I have to keep it, and yes, I do write in my books. It doesn't bother me. I know a lot of people, like my best friend Caroline, the girl I always talk about, she also annotates, but she doesn't like writing in her books. So she uses like clear post-its. Or if she like really feels the need to write something, like she will, but it's not like to this level. So, you know, it's all about preference. It's your books. It's what you want. You make a key, and I make it where it could be hidden by a little flap. I have a lot of tabs for her books because there's a lot of different things. A very plot-driven type of book, you know? So first I have like moments I love, and my colors change. Little thing with a bunch of tabs. I get these off Amazon in the big packs. I have to order a lot. You probably think this is so much, but like, if I'm using this color for one book, for one thing the whole time, it's probably going to be gone by the time I finish the book. And so I need this specific color again, you know? So I just have to get multiple packs so that I don't run out in the middle of reading my book. Because I did do that once when I first started annotating, because I didn't know I'd run out. I didn't think I'd use that many, and then I was like, oh, like I'm kind of screwed. For this book specifically, sometimes I like to kind of color coordinate with the cover a little bit. Most of my colors stay the same throughout all the books, at least if the main ones, but a couple of them change colors. So like here's some similarities and differences, you know, but they all stay in the same range. So for Heir of Fire, I did moments I love is pink, funny, characters, emotions, like any part that I found funny or that I loved or that is a love scene, you know, it's gonna get pink. Then for this one, I guess I did anything that made me sad or angry, I did in like this light purple. I always do orange for my plot and information details, like anything that is driving the plot, anything that I'm like, that seems important, I might have to remember that later, or just anything like that. Connection to other worlds, I don't want to spoil, but there's just a lot of similar things going, there's a lot of similar patterns going throughout all of her books. So there's so many that I've made its own tab that like, oh, that sounds familiar, or that kind of reminds me of Akatar, you know? The quotes, you see that? That is, you know, the quotes that are just like I'm in love with, I'm obsessed with. they mean so much to me. I want to get them tattooed or ingrained in my soul. Yeah, that's what the quotes mean. And they're in white because they stand out. Like, this color stands out a lot. And then for foreshadowing, full circle moments, anything that's like, I mean, we all know what foreshadowing is. It's like this light blue. Character details, so like if a new character comes in and they're, oh, she has blonde hair and whatever, purple eyes, or a personality traits about the character. Like, oh, she's a bitch. Okay, well, gotta mark that down. And then this dark green is relatable. So yeah, that's that. And in my ACOTAR, in my Throne of Glass books, I haven't highlighted. I just recently got these highlighters. They're amazing. They don't bleed through. They're really like pastel and pretty. I have a bunch, but I've been using these on another book. I just started annotating, the Binding 13 book. I don't have a system down for that, so I'm not really going to get into highlighting because I don't even highlight these. I just write with a pen, but they're like the perfect width for like a page, making it straight. I'm also like super OCD, so like it needs to be, I'm not back in focus. One day I will, maybe I'll do like an updated annotating, because I'm new. I'm just kind of rolling with the dice, you know. But then, so I first started annotating with this pen. It's the Profile Ball 1.5. It's like the Papermate ballpoint pen, which I love, okay? I love a good ballpoint. I love how smooth they write. The only thing with this I noticed is it's a little thick. The tip is a little thick, so it is, my handwriting as I went on just got like kind of messy in my books. So then I was doing some searching and I found these pens. They're like the Muji. They're like made in Japan, and they're the ballpoint pen in 0.5. So it's still writes smooth, but the tip is way more like narrow, so I can write really small and really neat. And also my lines don't get as thick. Like with this one, they were a little bit thicker. They weren't like extremely different, but I think at the beginning of Airfire I used this, and then halfway through I had gotten these in the mail and I switched. So I also use these like brown post-it notes if I have to write something that's too like much for the little margins on the side. Like they're not, I have this space to write, you know, and so if I want to elaborate on something, I just get one of these, I stick it in there, and I write. So yeah, that is about everything I use. These. Beautiful. Yeah, so I write, you know, anything. These are just like my internal thoughts as I'm reading. Like, this was something Dorian said, or something going on with Dorian. I said, Dorian, my love. I don't know what was happening here, but I said, because no one beats her. No one. See, I don't know. Oh, here is, and so if something is more than one sticky note for like one sentence or one paragraph, I'll just overlap the sticky notes. So this one is Otherworld, and this one is Love. Like, I love something about it, love something about the scene. Oh, okay, it's like a quote that Rowan said. It reminded me of another character in another book. Okay. So that's how I annotate, but right now I'm going to take these off because I don't use these. These are just, I don't like these sticky, so I'm just going to take these off because I'm not going to use them. A lot of my sticky notes come from multiple different packets. Like, I don't use all of these just from this one. I used one from the dark and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to find all of these colors and put it on this empty one, so I don't have to use 10. Like, usually I'll be carrying like 3 or 4 of these like in my book, and I'm like, why am I doing that? That is just like counterproductive. Alright, my own little Queen of Shadows. Can't even see my face. Okay, now I'm ready. I have like ACOTAR bookmarks. Who am I gonna use today? Feyre and Reese. Not Tamlin, that's for damn sure. Gwen, Asriel. I think I'm gonna use Feyre and Reese. I'm so excited. This is gonna be so much fun. Ugh. I've seen this map a billion times, but just, I love maps. They're the best. Or like, how do you not find this so cool? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just so fun. The Lady Shadows. Like, okay. chapter 5. Only read 30 pages, lol. But I'm gonna shower. It's currently 2. So I'm gonna shower so I can like really get into it. Because I want to get far today. I'm not trying to take forever, you know? So she just had a meeting with Arobin, and Arobin basically said Adian is captured in the king's dungeon as a way to lure her. And it's working because she's like, there's no way Aelin is gonna leave Adian to die like that. So now I think she's trying to come up with a plan how to get him out. And that's where we're at right now. Hey, it's been like a day, and I have read a bit. I think I'm like almost 200 pages into Queen of Shadows. I just got past the part of Aelin going to save Adian at the castle. Like, he's like on the chopping block. Like, he is donezo, but they're obviously doing it to lure her out. And obviously, Aelin's like, y'all don't think I know what y'all are doing? Y'all don't think, like, this girl was trained by every single type of assassin. Like, she knows how to manipulate, okay? Like, her master, Arobin, don't even get me started. He is so bad. So bad. Like, every time I read him, it's just like, I see more and more of how much of a actual sick fuck that guy was. But it was so good. I was like, the action, the fighting sequences, she's more herself than I've ever seen her in the other books. And I love it. And I love that, like, every time I reread it, like, it just gets better and better. Like, it's not something I ever get tired of. And there's always something that, one, in these rereads I've noticed is, one, I always notice something I didn't notice before, and two, I forget. Like, I think I remember, but then when it happens, I'm like, whoa, 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 like, what's happening? So she's rescued Adian, and they're about to, like, they haven't seen each other since she was like 8 and he was like, what, 10? And like, he's the Wolf of the North, he's a general, and he's just like badass, and he's just been waiting for her and waiting for her. And when she shows up and when they see each other for the first time, I was like, oh my god. It just never gets old for me. Like, the reunion scenes, best. And then I know what's about to happen next. They're about to have their whole conversation about, like, he just saw her, like, butcher, like, go through a whole, like, King's Guard army at the castle, and he was like, and so she's just gonna explain her life, and he's gonna explain, like, you know, the things he had to do, because they both had to do some pretty bad things to survive and keep the secrets of Terrasen, and hope like, to be able to bring it together, you know? I don't know, it's just so good. It's so good. Right now, though, I'm reading about Manon. I'm in Manon's POV right now. Manon is my girl, but you know who also is my girl? Astrid. We don't talk about Astrid enough, okay? Her second, like, love it. Like, these witches, like, a lot of people will be like, Manon's so scary, like, she's a witch, she has these iron claws, and every time I read her, I'm like, slay. Anything she does, I'm like, slay. She's like, because witches don't, they don't have a human diet, and she's just like, oh, like, anything she does, I'm like, oh, period. Yes, her and Abraxos, don't even get me started on Abraxos. That dragon, Wyvern, whatever you want to call him, oh my god, I want to get him tattooed on my body. He's the most precious thing I've ever come across in my entire life. He's like toothless, but like, he's a toothless dupe, okay? Wait, okay, yeah, this is like the scene. I just love it when they call him Prince Rowan. I forget he's a prince. God, universe, give me a man that looks like Rowan, please. That's what I'm reading this morning. My cup of tea. I feel English because I realize coffee, no matter how good it tastes, doesn't work well with my anxiety. Hey guys. Okay, so last time we left off, I finished, I'm pretty sure last time I vlogged where I was reading, I finished getting to like chapter 28 or something. Yeah, when like Rowan comes back, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But I've read a lot since then. I'm like, that was chapter 28. I'm on part 2. I'm on page 402 and currently on chapter 49. I have this much left, so I'm definitely gonna finish it this morning. It's 9:30 right now. The part where they're going to save Lysandra. She's been like captured because she's a shapeshifter, and Aelin is like, hell no, like I'm not losing any more people. Her, Adian, Rowan, and Kale and Mesred go after her, and then whatever, they get her out. But finally, after all this time, Manon, the witch, they like meet up. Like they find each other. Don't even get me started on the first interaction between Dorian and Manon. Like, I literally was like giggling. I was like, oh my god. I just know where this is going. It's just so much more fun reading it, knowing where it's going. You know what I'm saying? You really get to appreciate the beginning of the relationship a lot more. Anyways, so the witches, they get Lysandra. Kale makes the fucking mistake of trying to go after Dorian. I'm like, dude, stop. And they have a run-in finally. They run into each other, Aelin, Manon. It's like two queens in their own right looking at each other like, the power. And they were gonna let him, Manon was like, here, like I have no interest in you. And then Aelin just had to open her mouth, like she always does. Like she always does. And was like, yeah, well, Baba Yellow's legs, and like how she killed her. And I was like, girl, you were so close to being out. And then Manon was like full fury, like, you don't kill a matron of the witches. And so they start fighting, or no, they start running. Rowan takes a fucking arrow for Aelin. Every time it gets me, her screaming. Oh my god, sorry. Rowan takes an arrow for her in the shoulder. She uses the blood oath to make him run, and you can just tell he's like, did you really just do that? And then they start fighting. Aelin and Manon fighting is like the action, like I can just see it visually in my head. Like they're just these two powerful ass beings just like going head to head. And then there's one part that I literally like, I love it. They're on some temple that's like falling apart, and they fall off something or something, and they both lose their swords. And Aelin goes, swords are boring, and she pulls out her daggers. As Manon, she flicked her wrist, the iron nail shooting out. So she went like this, and her iron nail, oh my god. Sorry, that's amazing. And she goes, she cracked her jaw, and her fangs descended. Indeed, Manon said. The queen looked at the nails, the teeth, and grinned. Honestly, it was a shame that Manon had to kill her. Obviously, that doesn't happen. What ends up happening is they end up falling in this temple, whatever, and Manon gets caught underneath the rubble and is like gonna die. And Aelin makes the decision. She says she feels this tug, and I highlighted it. Aelin had felt it before, a thread in the world, a current running between her and someone else. She'd felt it one night years ago and had given a young healer the money to get the hell out of this continent. She'd felt the tug and had decided to tug back. Here it was again, the tug toward Manon, whose arm buckled as she collapsed to the stone. And then later on, Aedion yells at her to run, and it says, so she did. Aelin ran for Manon. And then Aelin says, you're too good of a fighter to kill. But if I die because of you, I'll beat the shit out of you in hell. Switch sides, Manon, switch sides. Let's get to it. Finished. Queen of Shadows, man, like it really, like she's in Tesserin at the end, like she's home after 10 years, like she's home, and she's a queen now, fully. She has her court and like Lysandra and Evangeline. Really should get back to Kingdom of Ash. Like that just like motivated me to read Kingdom of Ash. But yeah, that was my reading vlog, my first reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. I had fun filming it. It took me about 5 days to finish this. Took me about 5 days to finish. Not bad. Usually it takes me a day less than to finish a book, but it takes me a lot longer to read physical copies of books. But I had a lot of fun. My next video, I'm gonna be attempting, don't come for me if I don't do it, the 24-hour reading challenge. I have this new fantasy series coming in the mail today. Everyone's talking about it. It's the Daughter of No Worlds. It's Carissa, I forget her name, but she's like, everyone's raving about her books, that her books give the same feeling as Sarah J. Maas books, and I'm like, you don't have to tell me twice. I've been looking for a series, especially fantasy, that like gives me the same feelings as this series does, because she only has a certain amount of books out, and I've read them all pretty much except for the Crescent Cities. So Queen of Shadows, 1,000 out of 10. Like the action, the part where Dorian and Aelin unleash their magic, and it is, what is it described as? I just like, was so beautiful. Chapter 77, okay, right here. I have underlined. She says, Dorian, to a better future. And he's like, you came back. And they joined hands, so the world ended and the next one began. They were infinite. They were the beginning and ending. They were eternity. Aelin and Dorian, hand in hand, glowing like newborn gods as their magic intertwines. Like, what? Crazy. Like, I can just see it too. I see it in my head. So if it ever comes to the TV, because I know ACOTAR is coming to TV, and that Throne of Glass needs to be, everyone says ACOTAR is gonna be like the new Lord of the Rings, you know, Twilight, the whole next fantasy series to be big. I know ACOTAR is picked up by Hulu, but I think Throne of Glass, I think they're all gonna come to the screen. I think it's all gonna eventually be on the screen, but I think Throne of Glass is gonna blow people away. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching my reading vlog. We'll look out for the 24-hour reading challenge coming soon, like next couple of days soon. I hope you had fun watching this, and if you're still here, thank you. Okay. Goodbye. Love you.